ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome. No guest this time, this week. Probably not going to be a terribly long one, but what I did want to do is I've been meaning to take a look at this personality finder tool, basically. And it was sent to me by Simon Gornick. Thank you, Simon, for sending it across. Basically, the idea of it is it's a little tool that you can use, input a few variables, and it will tell you, or give you rather, a chatbot personality that you can use for your chat experiences. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a preview of it. I'm going to show you it. I haven't used it myself yet. I told Simon I'm going to take a look at it, and I thought while I do that, I may as well share it with you. So please do give us your feedback. Stick some comments in here. Might need your help actually as we go through it. You might need to give me some examples. Maybe we'll try answering some of these questions together. But really, before we kick off and before we begin taking a real deep look at the tool, why would your bot need a personality in the first place? And it's called the chatbot personality finder. But in reality, I wonder whether it might also be applicable for any kind of assistant that you're building, voice assistant, chatbot, whatever it might be. And really, there's a really good book by Clifford Nass and Scott Brave called Wired for Speech. And if you haven't checked it out, then definitely do so. In there, and I think Kathy Pearl references it in her book as well. Essentially, they say that if you don't create a personality for your assistant, then you're leaving it open to interpretation. And humans are hardwired essentially to find patterns, to make assumptions, and to assign personality traits to people, even without trying. All right. So in the book, they reckon that if you hear a voice, you can determine 1, where the person's from; 2, likely what their gender is; 3, potentially education or social kind of status; 4, whether they're in a good mood or a bad mood. You can tell a whole bunch of stuff just by hearing someone's voice. And essentially, if you don't design for it, you're leaving all of that open to interpretation. So the user is going to make those decisions anyway. They're going to form a picture in their mind about what this thing is that they're talking to. And if you design a personality, you've got more chance of having some harmony and some consistency between those things. Leslie said that all chatbots have a personality, so it doesn't have. So me just have dull, improbable personalities. Yeah, many just have dull personalities. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, some of them do have dull personalities, but some of them might have purposefully dull personalities. You might actually, let's say, for example, if you're a government organization, you might actually want something that's a little bit straight, a little bit kind of boring and dull, to use your words, Leslie. Cheers for the comment. Now, lots of people have lots of different ways of creating personalities as well. I've seen so many different templates and different ways of documenting a personality. Some of them fairly light, some of them are a little bit more extensive, some of them have backstories. You know, this is Susie, she's a medical student from Brazil and she likes ice cream and croissants. Others avoid that kind of stuff, but there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can do it, essentially. So I'm interested to find out more about this personality finder, see how it approaches it, essentially. So let's take a look. Let's dig in and have a look at Simon's creation. Here it is, the personality finder, chatbot personality finder. Get a bot personality for your chatbot. Oh, hang on a minute, we've got some issues with the camera there. Get a personality for your chatbot. Let's have another go. There we go. Okay, let's find that personality. Let's do it. Let's do this. So first name, is that the bot's name? Is that my name? Let's just assume it's my name. Okay, just a moment now. I'm preparing our conversation. Ah, it's actually a chatbot. Nice touch. Fair enough then. Okay, I'm a chatbot personality finder. Nice to know. In less than 2 minutes, the clock's ticking. I can time this as well. You will find able to access hold on. Humanized personality profile. Okay. Let's just get on with it. Personality bot. Type any questions you have about how the personality generator works at any time. Leslie, if you've got any questions about how it works, let me know and we'll feed it into this little machine. Type help for an overview of what I can do. Feedback for a quick feedback form or restart. Okay, ready to get started. Yes. Bring it on. Let's do it. See what we've got in store. Awesome. Fantastic. Sounds good to me. Every bot has empathy as its baseline super trait. Okay. Sometimes that empathy will be easy to get a read on. Sometimes it'll be more subtle, but it's always the first fixed calculation that goes into building your bot's BHDI. The criteria for how overt the empathy seems to the user depends on how the rest of your bot's personality pans out. For example, the empathy of a civil servant bot, we've just mentioned that, will not be front and center, but for a nurse bot, it will, because empathy is the main source of a good bedside manner. Okay, do you agree with that? Wouldn't have said empathy is the first thing I think about, but definitely is considered. The personality bot's having a bit of a think. It's typing, it's thinking, it's thinking. Here we go. I'm also going to come on to. I don't know whether you've seen this or read this yet, but I'm going to come on to this in a moment. Conversations with Things, Rebecca Evanhoe and Diana Deeble. Brilliant, brilliant book. There is some very good stuff on personality design in here. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but I'm going to reference a few in here because I've started using this pieces of it since I've read it because it is really, 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 really good. Okay, now on with the. It does look like a spouse finder, Leslie. You're right. It is a bit crazy. I'm wondering who I'm going to be matched up with here. Important question: which of the following matches the sector for your conversational application? See, I think here we could have probably left that a bit open ended and just said, what industry are you building something for, and let the NLU do the work of decoding it rather than having a big huge list here. But we'll go with it. Let's say that we are going to do. I'm looking for a house right now, so we'll call it real estate. Little side story: I sold my house in a little bit less than 5 weeks. Had to move all of my stuff into storage in just over a week. Moved out after finding a leak in the roof, having to rush around to get a tiler to come and patch the tiles in the roof. Carried two, in fact, actually four ridiculously heavy roof tiles 2 miles from my house, back from the industrial estate depot back to my house. That was fun. Then went on a nice holiday to Cornwall and have moved in with some in-laws. Well, I say some in-laws, it's our in-laws. And we're now on the hunt for a house. So this is a fitting bot that we're going to build here. Stage 3, factor in your preferences. As I assemble a personality, let's adjust for your preference within the range I am looking at. Choose one option that's closest to the kind of bot personalities that you prefer. Well, a real estate assistant really wants to be friendly, doesn't want to be too over the top. It just wants to be a little bit more than neutral, I would say. If you want to get shown around a house by somebody, you don't want them to be like totally up. Oh, this fireplace is fantastic. Look at what you can do with that. You want them to be not necessarily boring, not too professional or serious. You want them to be kind of friendly, don't you? Let's go with friendly. Okay. Friendly. Thank you. I think we're past the 2 minute mark, but I have been commenting quite a bit throughout. Stage 4, company type. Startup bots tend to have more animated personalities than those fronting more mature enterprises. So choose the one option that matches your company's status the best. Potentially, but I think Toby's got quite a lot of personality from Vodafone. And I could imagine that a company like Virgin, Virgin Media, they might have quite a decent personality on there. Some in-law, yeah, exactly, yeah, it's exactly. So, hold on a minute, we've got another comment here. Let's talk about how chatbot's personality and the company's brand voice should align. Do we need an app like the chatbot personality finder to do this for us? Or do we need our internal comms team or CX experts and our customer service leaders to collaborate to do this? Good question. That is a very good question. Obviously, those people, the CX team, the customer services team, the marketing team, they know the brand through and through. And they have a lot of experience with the brand. They have a lot of knowledge about the customer base. They have deep knowledge about what they want to get done and what the purpose of this thing should be in the first place. And so, definitely, I would say that you need to involve the right kind of people. And the thing with that, with personality, and we'll probably come on to a bit of this as we get through this tool, see what it gives us. But the thing about personality, it's a little bit like designing a logo for a brand. You can't just go and design a logo, build it, design it, create it, and then hand it back to a client and say, there you go, it's finished. Because the logo is the front facing visual representation of that brand. And you've got all kinds of people that want to have a say in that, and quite rightly so. It needs to be something that unites the company. It needs to be something that everybody can agree is an accurate representation of the image that the company wants to portray. And so I think that bot personality, assistant personality, is a little bit like designing a logo. And the larger the organization is, the more stakeholders you have, and the more consideration and consultation you'll need to go through. So definitely, Leslie, I think that this tool seems decent. Whether it would be used by these mature enterprises, or whether it would be used more for a one man band or one person band, should we say? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how good it is at the end, and maybe we can make a decision on that after. So, company type. What type of company is it? Let's call it an estate agent that is a kind of relatively local estate agent confined to a certain county. So, we'll probably say that it is relatively mature and mid size. Okay, mid-sized, mature company. That's right. Any other questions, by the way? I know there's a few more people tuning in here. If you've got any other questions or you want to feed into this, please do. You can answer some of these questions for me. Okay, organization type factored in. Let's move on. Just give me a moment to calculate. Stage 5, your bot human dialogue index result. Hold on. Oh, it's going a bit fast. Chill out, chill out. Hold on. The target range for your chatbot bot human dialogue index is 4.65. For more about the BHDI, click here. Let's have a look at that later. Business sector consultant. Oh, okay. This is the personality of the bot. This is the results. Here we go. This will be interesting. So, the bot's personality is a consultant. The personality descriptor is a serious design thinker. I don't know whether a estate agent would be a serious design thinker. They might know which walls to knock out and what you might have potential for with this property, but whether they're serious design thinker, I don't know. Personality traits: serious, hardworking, research led. That's definitely true. Detail oriented, problem solver, no time to waste on chit chat. Well, I can let you know that I've been phoning quite a lot of estate agents lately, booking appointments, booking viewings, and things like that. And some of them are quite keen on wasting time on chit chat. I can tell you that much. And we did say that we wanted the bot to be friendly, and a friendly person isn't going to be not wasting time on chit chat. I think a friendly person would probably want to take you up on a little bit of chit chat. Here's a sample personality sketch. Link text is empty, but maybe there's something behind this. Oh, do you want to allow it to download files? I don't know what I'm agreeing to here. This could be anything, this. I once had a call with somebody. I won't say who it was, but this is not working. I had a call with somebody once, and we were in the middle of talking, and I wanted to show them something. I wanted to show them where their company page was featuring on Google. And so I went to type Google with a quick kind of like touch type search, and I was sharing my screen at the time. And oh no, sorry, I messed up the whole story. They were sharing their screen. That's the important thing. They were sharing their screen, and they wanted to show me something on Google. That was it. And they were sharing their screen, and they were touch typing google.com, and they misspelled Google and put a H instead in it. They typed hoohle.com, HOOHLE.com. Wouldn't recommend doing it on a work computer, because the picture that flashed up was not safe for work, should we say? And the person I was talking to didn't know where to put themselves. It was it was quite funny. To get access to the downloadable shareable doc. Okay, let's just have a look then. Let's just put my email address in here. I'm going to stop sharing here. Hold on, where are we? Let's come back into here. I will finish this off quickly. I'll stick my email address in here, and we'll see what we end up with, shall we? But I think that was all right. I don't know whether the output that we got there necessarily is a reflection of the kind of personality that I would typically design for this. Sorry, I'm just filling these deals in there. But I suppose it was fun. It was fun while we did it. I did want to mention and bring up, as going through this, the recommended framework for personality design from Diana Deeble and Rebecca Evanhall, which I'm a real fan of. And I said I wouldn't spoil it. I've turned it into a template, actually, a Miro template. So if anyone's looking to get hold of a version of this that they can actually act on, then give me a shout. So essentially, the framework that they recommend, which as I said, I'm a huge fan of, is to only consider six core things that your bot personality needs to do. And I think this chatbot personality finder touched on a few of them, but not all of them. Some crucial things missed out. So the first thing is to consider the interaction goal, and that's my favorite part of the whole thing, because your interaction goal needs to be the front and center North Star that you're aiming towards. The thing that your user is trying to accomplish needs to be the thing that you're focusing on, and there needs to be a certain number of things that are going to contribute to that goal being achieved. So what things contribute to the user achieving that goal? Maybe it's speed because the user doesn't have any time. Maybe it's quality of information being important. Who knows what it is? But the interaction goal and the contributing factors are the most important thing, which I really love. The level of personification. How human-like does it need to be? I mean, Simon mentioned here that startup. I say Simon. I don't know if it was Simon that built it, but Simon sent me the link. So whoever built this mentioned that chatbot startup personalities tend to be really personified and really engaging and stuff like that. But it depends, doesn't it? It depends on the company. How human-like do you want it? Do you want it like Vodafone, who has a name, Toby, or like Domino's, who has a name, Dom? Do you want to kind of have it trying to almost convince people that it is its own thing, its own character, or do you want it totally robotic and not personified whatsoever? And again, it comes back to the aim of the bot, essentially. Power dynamics, which is a fascinating consideration. In this tool, it mentioned a civil servant bot. We've been working on a government bot as well, and the power dynamics question is so relevant, because what happens if the computer says no? If any of you have seen I don't know if the US would have seen this, but certainly in the UK, you've seen the Little Britain sketches with the computer says no. Can't get past me because the computer says no. If you're trying to renew a passport and the computer keeps saying no to valid information that you're giving it, then that's got all of the power and it's able to make decisions on your life, whether you can travel or not, and so forth. Therefore, you need to be careful of how you handle that power dynamic. So considering that is important. The character traits, which we've kind of got into here, is it friendly? Is it warm? Is it kind of standoffish? What are the traits that the bot has that you're going to try and embody? The tone, is it formal? Is it super casual? Is it a complete expert on all subject matter areas? Is it a bit of a novice? Again, depends on the brand. You'd expect a government bot, for argument's sake, to be an expert. You would expect something like I don't know, a travel companion. Maybe it's not 100% expert. Maybe it points you in the direction of other sources of information that are the experts, and that just be the conduit that sits between you and the information you're trying to find. So it depends on what you're trying to build. And then key behaviors. So what are the key behavioral traits that the bot has? How should it behave under different situations? If you were to correct it, or if the bot was to correct you, if it makes a mistake or gets something wrong, if it can't understand you, how does it react and behave in those situations? So those are what Rebecca and Diana recommend. I strongly recommend that you get this book, Conversations with Things. That's not the purpose of this broadcast, by the way, but I just thought that talking about personality, this is something that is my go-to thing. So there's a lot more detail in there as well, if you want to check that out. That's my dog going crazy because I can hear something. Too many cultural assumptions embedded in this tool. Fair enough. Are all government chatbots meant to be dull? No way. If the government chatbot's interaction goal is to help people reserve a campsite in a national park, the personality should be friendly and welcoming. Yeah, that's fair enough. Totally fair enough. So I think my summary is, it's all right if you're building an app for a hobby, or if you're, doing some maybe some prototyping, things like that. But I think that using it for a real life project with a real live enterprise, I'm not sure. But it was fun. and I would definitely recommend people give it a go. So cheers, Simon, for sending that across, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Leslie, for the participation. I'll probably start doing a few more of these little things as and when I get sent little tools like this to have a look at, as and when we come across different stories and stuff like that. We'll probably start doing this a little bit more regularly. So thank you for tuning in. And if you're not already subscribed to VUX World, please do so. Go to vux.world/subscribe to get notifications about all of our up and coming podcasts, interviews with industry experts, all of our articles that we publish. We just published one today actually on Google Assistant and whether your brand should be considering integrating with that or building your own assistant. So head to VUX World to check that out. Nerd asks, does it use analytical psychology? I don't know, to be honest. I would hazard a guess and say probably not, because it seemed a little bit. I don't want to say basic because I don't want to discredit it, because it actually is a decent tool that gets you an end result. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where to start, and you just have to design any bot, you could always just come and start here, and it will give you something to think about, which I really do like. But I don't know whether there's any of that kind of stuff going on behind the scenes, Nerd. I didn't build it. I'm just looking at it. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Leslie, for the feedback. And we'll do this again sometime soon. Until next time, see you later.